Okay.
There you go. He just told us today.
Didn't even ask.
Hasn't even asked for consent. That's a bit out of order, really. So welcome to another episode of Hot Tag Reviews Talking Shop. I am Rob Campbell alongside.
I am jobber number 2, Martin Holland.
I'm Daniel. I've watched The Longest Yard. It was okay. Cornfield.
And our guest at this time is the one and only Lucia Lee. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be on, finally.
A long time coming.
It looks like you got a One Direction t-shirt on, Liz. Is that...
That's one of the OG Beast ones, yeah.
It looks like the old 1D logo.
Oh, God. That's a dark period of my life.
Yeah, that's because you're insecure, Mark. Do you know what I mean?
I've got
and
one.
You don't know what for.
I would say, if he takes that hoodie off, all of a sudden you see like a picture.
I haven't got an hoodie on, in a bit.
What is that then you're wearing?
It's camouflaged. Fucking hell, man.
Sorry.
Just
You can't see him, Don. You can't see him. There we go. There we go. Someone's getting the gimmicks. So let's dive in. We're going to talk some wrestling. We're going to talk some other things. We're going to talk Lucias Aid, obviously, because, you know, gimmicks.
Gimmicks.
You got it. That's the name of the game around here. So let's start from the beginning, because I mean I'm not very familiar with your story as such. I think I've got a rough idea of what your story might be, but then how it sort of developed. So talk us through, like, what got you into wrestling.
Okay, so my memories of wrestling will probably be like playing with wrestling figures. My brother had like a little cage set with like the mini figures. He had like a mini Rey Mysterio, that's my favourite. He had like a mini Triple H, Undertaker. So I really got into it through my little brother. He started watching it. I'd just be in the room when it was on. And once I saw like women's wrestling, that was when I really got involved, and I just kind of fell in love with it from there. So like watching Paige and AJ Lee was sort of my my love of wrestling, where that developed really. Big
gains in the wrestling business when Paige and AJ Lee were on the scene, that's for sure.
Yes.
And it's only got bigger since, and so it should, with the people involved. So then when did you get involved yourself then?
So I started wrestling about a week after my 16th birthday at a company that I won't name because I no longer work
for
with
legal
them.
reasons.
Just in case to slag them off. Yeah. I had my first match 8 weeks after I started training.
Wow.
And after that, I had a couple more months. Then about 6 months into my training, I was on shows regularly. About 9 months into my training, I moved schools and I started training with Kamikaze. And that's sort of where I really started to learn how to wrestle, basically. Because before that, I learned how to like bump. I learned how to put on a wrist lock and do some rolls, but I didn't really learn how to wrestle until I got out of my first school.
Yeah.
Mainly, yeah.
And I think all three of us can probably contest to that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still learning that's that wrist lock, mate. How about you? Yeah, right.
Well, I didn't want to say, brother, but
fuck you.
Yeah, so we've definitely been there one time and another as well, with wrestling schools and then finding the right ones, and then just learning yourself and finding your experience yourself. But you're always developing and learning as you go along, as you know. But I suppose, like, I know we just spoke about this off air when you were on the podcast the other day, didn't you? But Bells to Bells, right? That was the one.
Yes,
yeah.
I did that.
And you were talking about like some of the effect that it's had on your body and how you know your body's changing, and from a dancing sort of background into wrestling and so on and so forth, and then you know the pain that your body has been conflicted to. Do you think the early part of training and not being trained properly has a lot to do with that?
Absolutely. Like kids at that school will be trained from as young as like I think 11 was the youngest, and they'll be on a show within like 8 weeks. They literally like fast track you through the process of learning. Like you don't get to like experience things and slowly dip your toes in and then work your way up to a match like you would at somewhere like Kamikaze, because they have had very young people start and they've trained for like 4 or 5 years before they've been on a show. The first company that I trained at would fast track you within like 8 to 10 weeks. You'll be on a show. You're taking full on bumps, you're taking moves, you're giving moves to other 11-year-olds. And it was absolutely insane. And I do think that is where a lot of my health issues now have stemmed from. I'm waiting for physio on my hip. I have cartilage damage in my knee. Yeah, I'm in like quite a lot of different sorts of pain because of it, really. I started when I was 16. I do regret that now. I really wish that I'd have waited till like now, or I think like 18 to 20 is like a good place to start, really. I think 16 was definitely way too young.
Yeah. But we can't turn back time, and, you know, that is what it is, and that's something that you clearly deal with very well on a daily basis. But how does that then look for the future then? How do you change things to manage that going forward?
I think I'm taking a lot more care of my body now. Like I have like proper like stretch routines. I'm taking more care of myself rather than just like, you know, getting straight to a venue, putting my gear on, wrestling a match. I'm actually taking time to like warm up and cool down. I'm doing the same at like training sessions, because when I first started training, there was none of that. There was none of like proper like warm ups or anything. We'd probably run for about 10 minutes, do 100 squats, and then just jump in the ring and like take like 100 bumps. There was no like idea of saving your bumps either, which I've only just sort of wrapped my head around. And it does mess with your body. It definitely messes with you. But like, I think that the style that I've adapted to, luckily I wasn't there for long enough for it to really affect me. Like I felt a little bit of the brunt of it. I've had like 60 matches since 2019 properly. So I've had like 60 matches with COVID obviously as well. So that's probably taken its toll as well, because I was just bumping constantly. No real like regard for the future or anything, but now I'm actually like taking a look at myself. I'm like, oh shit, like I kind of need to calm down and look after myself a little bit more. Yeah,
definitely. And it's a good thing to do, as the boys will contest. It probably took me a good 10 years to figure it out, to be fair. But that's what the yoga mat's for these days.
Yeah, DDP.
You got me. You got me. So yeah, wrestling, that's pretty much a bit of wrestling for now. Martin does have 7 questions for you at some point, but awesome. I might not shoot that out right now out of the gate, but your internet connection does seem pretty decent.
Seems all right, to be fair. Yeah, I'm happy with this.
But I think we'll segue into it, and I will lead with why Lucias Aid? What made you choose Lucias Aid?
I just really like it. I really like the taste. I used to just bring one to every show, and I'd just be backstage drinking one before my match. And I think eventually I was just like, you know what, I'm going to bring this out with me. And then people just started reacting to it. Like, I think a lot of it is, it's sort of become synonymous with me now after Lucias Aid. Like, fans will bring them to shows and hand me like a bottle of Lucias Aid on my entrance. Or people like tag me in their stories that they've seen a Lucias Aid bottle in a shop, or they've bought one. And it's really funny to me. Like, it's such a stupid thing, but people find it really, really funny, and people either agree with me, they'll completely love it, or they'll absolutely hate it and tell me that it's the worst flavour. And it's a lot of fun. It's literally just a bottle of energy drink, and I don't understand how I've got this much longevity out of it. But it's fun.
I think the fact is, though, when you bring a bit of yourself into the ring and that little detail of your own life comes in, it works, like, you know, and people react to it, and I think that's always a good thing to see.
Yeah, definitely. Like, my favourite photo that Wrestleography Seb's ever taken is just like a close-up of a bottle of Lucias Aid on like the ring apron, and I just saw it in like the album of one of the kamikaze shows I've done, and it just popped me so much. I was like, you've just taken a picture of a bottle, like, it shouldn't be as funny as it is. It pops me every time.
And Seb's great, and he always catches the right angles.
Absolutely. Like, he's the best photographer that, like, in the game for me. Every like photo he takes, I just look great, and I'm like, I don't know what this wizardry is, but I'm loving it. Keep it up, it's great.
I will certainly take that reference to the bank. So let's do it. Martin has 7 questions. Good luck with them. Who knows what they're about? I don't.
I don't think I do either, but yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, like 5 questions is, you know, that's too short. 10 questions is too long. Who wants to be sitting answering 10 questions? I don't want to ask 10 questions. You don't want to ask 10 questions. So let's just ask 7, and then we'll answer 7. That sounds about all right, don't it? So
cool.
It's about female wrestling, wrestling. Because you're a female,
I am.
And you wrestle. So it only feels right that we do some female wrestling questions.
That works.
Probably a bit before your time, but we'll see how you get on. I don't expect you to know more, but if you do, then
God.
I'll be well impressed. So, question number 1.
Yeah.
How many divas, I'm going to say divas because this was back in the diva days,
Oh God.
held the hardcore title?
Hardcore title. I feel like
you're looking at Cal Francis.
Cal's not here.
Not in a building. Not in a building.
Trying to read his mind. Like,
Yeah.
Go on, just help me out here.
I feel like Jacqueline held it. I might be wrong. I feel like Molly Holly maybe held it. I'm going to guess 5. Let's try that.
Okay. You was close, 4.
Oh, okay.
And you did, to be fair, have Molly Holly as one of them. The
Okay.
others being Bobcat, Trish Stratus, and Terry Runnels.
Fresh held it. Okay.
Terry, no. That one.
Jeff Hardy's famous promo.
Yeah. So you did well. I'm quite pleased with that one. So, question number 2. What title did China hold other than the Women's Championship?
The Intercontinental.
So she did, yeah.
Love
So
China.
she did indeed. Amazing,
Brilliant.
wasn't she?
Oh, I love her so much. She's just
Absolutely.
It's like fucking trendsetter as well, especially for the period where she got big.
I think my favourite, like, China is after Triple H as well, when she was doing
yeah,
stuff on her own.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
You know, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't treat me
love-
like a woman.
That one.
Don't treat me like a man.
The big gun at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that, like-
gimmick, you
Oh,
know
that
what I mean?
it's brilliant,
Yeah.
man. Oh, she was iconic, really. And I loved her with Eddie. Like, as Mamacita, that was just brilliant. They were best chemistry. I love that.
I literally got goosebumps when you said that. That doesn't happen that like very much at all, but just Eddie and China, that sentence itself just got me.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Such a lovely, like, their dynamic just pops the hell out of me as well. Like, every time I like watch anything to do with those guys, oh,
And you
good
can
time.
tell when they was doing that as well that it wasn't work. It was just
Yeah.
fun.
That was
It
fun.
was pure fun. And
They're
that-
enjoying themselves. Yeah.
And that's what you do it for. You do it for fun. Yeah, so well done. So, what diva held the title the most times? So
The
it's
Divas title?
women's
Oh.
and the divas.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
Mm.
I think it's either Mickey James or Michelle McCool.
Apparently it's Trish Stratus. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, okay.
What do you say,
Yes.
Rainman, about that one?
I was in the Michelle McCool camp.
Yeah, I thought-
And Mickey James just for the tenure and the fact that she did,
Yeah. She's done loads.
Even like recently. So
Oh, yeah. She's since like her release, especially like she's even done stuff like with all the NWA stuff that she's doing now.
send me a trash bag and I'll show you.
Yeah. Didn't she win like 7 times, Trish? Was it 7 in the end?
Might
7
have
questions.
There you go. So we've got question number 4.
Yes.
So we've got the Fabulous Moolah. It's a true or false question. So the Fabulous Moolah
Okay.
is the longest women's title reign as a champion.
Yeah, I think she reigned for like 20 years, didn't she? I'm gonna go true.
20 years. I love that.
Okay.
That's fantastic. What a
And
guess.
question 5 is a second. It was a second part question to that. So
Okay.
how long was she the longest reigning champion? So it was true.
I think it was 20 years. I'm gonna. I think.
28 years.
Oh,
In
what?
the 20s. You know what? I'll give you that one. That's all right. That is. That's some good knowledge. That is.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's
That's
28 years.
The fact that you knew the answer and the reign, and that's just because that's such a random stat and fact. How can you retain that information? I get stick all the time off these motherfuckers for my wrestling knowledge, and here's you popping out Fabulous Moolah 20 years. What the fuck? That's insane. Fair play.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm going. I'm not needed anymore. I'm out.
Rayman's been retired.
RC Chaos has been cancelled. Did no one? The line didn't work, did it?
Technical difficulties, dude.
No, I said RC Chaos has been cancelled, but with more dramatic effect.
Don't work now. We can't say it now.
Done now.
So question number 6 is a Playboy question. Of course, back in the day, Playboy was a big part of the Divas revolution and all that type of thing. So, name me 2 divas. This is a 2-part question. 2 divas that have appeared on the cover of Playboy.
On the cover, I'm gonna go Sable and China, because I don't think Lita was on the cover. I know that she had a feature in it, but I don't know if she did the cover.
Yeah. Sable and China is right.
Yes.
Tori Wilson on the cover once.
She may have been.
Yeah, I think she was.
But they haven't give that answer. That's
I think
fine.
it was her and Sable when they was doing that weird lesbian gimmick back in the day.
Oh yeah, fucking 2002. What a time to be alive.
Oh fuck yeah.
But again, our times have changed for $1 billion company to stop using sex appeal as a promotion for a wrestling. You know what I mean? So it's moved on a lot, but yeah, it did happen, and Sable and China were on the cover. So last question number 7. Because you know what I mean? Look, 10 questions is too much, isn't it? We can't do 10 questions. That's just crap. So 7 questions. We're on the last question.
I thought these 7 questions have gone on a bit too long, to be honest with you. But I'm all right with it. The Mae Young,
No one's asking
the
you.
Mae Young, the fabulous move. Yeah.
So question number 7
Yes.
is, which 2 wrestlers did Lita marry on Raw?
She married Kane and she married Edge.
Correct and correct.
Yes. I know my Lita knowledge nice and.
I thought you would do. That's why I left it to last.
It's good that is.
7. You didn't add them up. I don't know how many you got, but I think you're doing really, really well. So well done.
You?
Let's just call it 7 out of 7. Let's just call it that. Why not?
That's it. Why not? I love it.
Top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Thank you. Aw.
I need one of them Top Gear leaderboards down at some point.
Yeah, if only someone had a
actually do.
whiteboard or something they could use for something like this.
I just want to do that where he writes it on and it's about this long because it's a massive Italian.
Yeah.
And then he just flops it on as a magnet onto and he gets it dead centre, and he gets it in the middle.
Yeah.
What a guy. Jeremy Clarkson, shout out to that guy.
Shout out to Jeremy Clarkson. You might as well shout out to Matt Hancock in a minute, you fucking hell.
I am a fucking animal.
Well, on that note, we will get back to our guest. Apologies for the segue of banter. We'll digress a little bit, take it to a different level, get a bit serious, and then we'll chill out and end on a high. So speaking out, there's obviously been a difficult time for wrestling. Everyone involved, regardless of who you are. You have been at the forefront of a lot of things on social media, BBC News. You've been there for it all, really. And I guess, my question is more about how that's not only impacted you as a person and within wrestling, but why you're so passionate about it, why you want to make a change, and what will the world look like going forward, shall we say? And what's your role in that?
Well,
a lot to digest, I apologise.
It's not a problem. I never mind talking about it. Honestly, it's been a very difficult and strange year. When everything first started coming out, the first person that got outed was probably David Starr. His ex-girlfriend put a post up. I messaged her and was like, thank you for bringing this to my attention. And we just ended up speaking for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I've experienced some very similar things in wrestling. And we just spoke. She's really, really nice to me. She didn't need to be we've never met. We don't know each other. She's on the other side of the world, I think. But she was just really, really nice to me. And then I saw more posts going up, and I ended up just writing a big long post about different experiences that I'd had. Then I later went on to name these people, and since then, I feel like a lot of the hype around speaking out dropped off a little bit, which is a shame because at the very start, everyone was really close knit, and it felt like a proper community had come together. But then as shows started to come back and different things happened, a lot of people just decided to sort of shun the movement and just forget about it. But I'm very, very passionate about this sort of thing. Before speaking out even happened, I had a T-shirt out to raise money for a sexual assault survivors charity, and I've, you know, I feel very, very strongly about the cause because I've had experiences myself. Pretty much everyone that I know has had a sort of experience, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to turn my back on something, even if like a lot of the people that I was around did. Like my home promotion, they kind of shunned me for being vocal. They kind of they basically told me to stop coming around, and then invited back someone that had sexually harassed me, and he started working their shows. So I basically said, yeah, I'm never coming back. You know, a lot of my friends still work for them, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm not going to, you know, tell people where they can and can't work. I'm just going to, you know, say that morally I couldn't be there. I don't want to be there. But yeah, it's been very, very strange and difficult. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of bookings. I've also met some really amazing people, and I've also hopefully helped a lot of people. Because if I can stop one person experiencing the same thing that I have, then I'm happy. That's literally all I want, to be honest.
That's a really powerful thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
for that to be the cause, that's a really powerful thing.
I think that's quite sad though, that like because you was vocal that you were shunned. I think that's just sick. That's just really fucking wrong. Like, go through that.
It's just a total opposite of what sort of reaction you want. It's you haven't got to take it on. The promotion's not supposed to be taking it on full, you know, all the weight of the world on the shoulders. But the last thing you want to do is to start saying, "Oh, you can't come anymore," or "Probably best if you stay away." That's not the way to deal with it. You know, that's just not the way to do it. And I hope that's now shows are starting up, and people, like I say, are coming back onto shows that shouldn't be really on shows. Let's just hope that that's not the start of another trend. Let's just hope that it's sorted and, you know, continues to be, you know, talked about in the right manner.
Yeah, man.
What do you see your role going forward in, you know, not only speaking out but British wrestling, Lucia?
Oh God, I don't even know if I'm welcome in British wrestling anymore, to be honest.
Fucking will have you.
Thank you. Do you know what? I don't really have any like set goals in wrestling. I just want to leave behind a body of work that I'm happy with, and I want to be able to like show that you can be mouthy and you can be vocal and you can not take shit from people and still be successful and still be good and still like enjoy your time in wrestling. That's literally all I want. All I want is to get better, have good matches, and be able to say that I've kept my morals while doing so. That's literally all I want.
Sure, Michaels did it for 26 years, roughly. Who knows?
You do.
He still didn't write and he's slim.
I'm still salty about it.
Just a little bit, but it's cool. No, that you know, you've got the right head on you and so on, and you know, you're surrounding yourself with good people. I can contest to that. But yeah, so talk to me a little bit about BDK.
Oh, okay. I don't know how much I can say about BDK.
Oh, okay. Intrigue.
BDK's well, it's firstly what Cal's got tattooed on his, and Wesker's got tattooed on his knuckles now, his lower knuckles. It's basically myself, Frank Wesker, Bishop, Bevan, and MJ Grayson. We're all a close-knit group of friends. Like, 3 of them are my big brothers, and one of them's like my boyfriend, my partner. Like, Bish and MJ have literally been there for me since day one. Like, one of them's my tag partner, one of them's like basically my big brother. Like, I literally love the pair of them. They look after me so much, and we just formed this little group. And yeah, it's kind of just, it's what we are. It's not just like a wrestling faction. It's not just like a group. You know, it's just like, it's the 5 of us basically. I think I'm allowed to say that. If not, I'm going to get in a little bit of trouble, but I don't really mind.
Could be a spoiler alert in there if you picked up on it.
Yeah,
sure you won't get into any trouble, and if you do, you'll probably be able to handle it, right?
Oh, definitely. They all love me. I can say whatever I want to about them. It's all good. They'll be fine. Cal's not going to tell me off, is he? Let's face it.
No, he is going to make you watch horror movies though, and
VHS.
that's what I want to get into right now. Is how has your horror movie journey been going?
I used to hate horror movies. The only horror films that I'd seen before I got with Cal, I'd seen 2 of the Final Destination films, and I've seen most of the Saw films. So I like Saw as a franchise, but I don't really see that as like a horror film because they're like jump scares, and it's more just like a gory thriller.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But yeah. So
I fucking love Saw. I'm gonna go and watch it right after this. I'm telling you.
So I've watched all of the Scream films. Scream's my favorite horror film now. I love it. I've seen 3 Halloween films. Seen 4 Nightmare on Elm Street films. And I've watched the Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, and 3 on VHS with Cal's VHS player, this little collection, which was an experience because I don't really remember VHS. Yeah.
This conversation depresses me. The fact that I'm fully aware of what VHSs are and how they used to work. That's just
funny you should say that about VHS because literally the other day I was cleaning out my mum's room, getting rid of some shit, and I come across some cases that used to be in my bedroom growing up. So there was one case full of football trophies. Apparently I played and I was pretty good according to this case that I found. And then the other one included a load of wrestling VHS tapes. And WrestleMania 3, I think, was the earliest one I had in there. That'd be the one where Hulk Hogan used his creative control to slam Andre the Giant. VHS is amazing. Yeah.
I didn't know that cassettes were a thing until recently either. Like, I just never heard of them. So, like, learning about VHS and, like, the rewind feature and, it's quite
the tracking, when it gets a bit fuzzy, you've got to put the tracking on to get it back right. Yeah.
That's a little spoiler alert. That's a little spoiler alert, though, with VHS, especially with horror. If you start seeing it getting snowy or tracking, it means there's going to be a death very soon. Because you can tell someone's rewound
to watch it.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Right, Rain Man of horror films. Fucking hell.
Right, fucking create your own YouTube channel about VHS.
I just might have to then. I just might have to.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Exactly. There you have it. Okay, we went off track a little bit there, but where do you think you stand on the horror movie genre now?
Do you know what? I've gotten a lot more into it. I really like Scream as a franchise. I love all the Scream films. I really like Nightmare on Elm Street. I enjoyed.
Kids do wrestling on Hot Tag Reviews. This happens from time to time.
Naked kids do wrestling, apparently. Hopefully nothing got...
I didn't say anything, bro.
Thank fuck for that.
Neither did we, thank God.
Can we please edit this part out?
Yeah, I think
we might need to actually.
There we go.
Anyway, what was talking about?
So, where do you stand on the horror movie genre?
I really like the Scream films. I really like Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming.
I can't watch Scream like seriously now. If you've ever watched a scary movie, I cannot take Scream.
I watched that today.
I can't take Scream serious. It's not a horror film for me now. It's just not. It's not horror. It's just I think of scary movie and it's just ruined it for me.
When I tend to watch it back now, I do get a little horror buzz off it. Like I can sit there and watch it a little bit more seriously. But that's since I've watched the TV series on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Because that just brings back the scary factor. Like it just portrays Ghostface in such a horrific way. Yeah. Hi, Michael. Hello. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like the Scream. The TV series is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think with like the Scream films, like they always had this thing of like revealing a magician's secret. It's like, okay, so you expect this to happen? Surprise, motherfucker! Slap me in the face.
Yeah.
But I love them. Check out Hatchet. Like if you have like a good old school gory film, like I suggest the Hatchet trilogy. It's modern day film, but it feels like it should be a VHS film. If not, speak to Cal about it. I think he'd probably have seen them, no doubt.
Yeah, slightly. If it's horror and if it's horror, then Cal's probably seen it. To be honest. But yeah, I'll give anything a go. Like, I'm quite open-minded. I'll watch any sort of film, even if I don't like it. Like, he put on House of a Thousand Corpses, like a Rob Zombie film. I wasn't a fan, but then I really liked the second one, Devil's Rejects. I preferred that. I thought that was really good.
There was a third one to that one as well, one that done.
Yes, you haven't seen that yet.
Free from Hell.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't watched it yet. Cal's watched it, but we need to watch it at some point.
Has.
Yeah, of course he has. It's horror. And it's Rob Zombie.
It is. And we know he did some good theme music for WWE at the time. So why would his films not be any good? There we go. And I suppose let's sort of wrap this up on what does the future look like for you immediately, and I suppose a little bit long term, but mainly immediately.
In wrestling or in general?
Let's wrap it all into one, wrestling and general.
Well, I'm at uni at the minute. I'm studying English Lit, so I'm hoping to get my degree at some point. With wrestling, I don't even know. Like, if I get offered a booking, if it's a cool company or if it's something I want to do, then I'll take it. I literally just want to get some cool matches done. I have like some small goals, like debut on a Cammy Main show, wrestle for Pro Wrestling Eve. But other than that, I literally just want to enjoy myself. Like, wrestling should be fun. I just want to have fun, have good matches, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good times. That's some good goals to have. When is your next match? Because it's soon, right?
Yes, 24th of July. I'll be wrestling Lizzie Evo at Catch Pro Wrestling in Manchester, the Manchester Academy. Very excited because Lizzie's awesome and Catch is awesome, and it's going to be really, really fun.
I'm going to say, is there anyone that, like, sort of maybe more British scene, is anyone that haven't worked that you want to work?
Well, before she got signed, it would have been Amelia McKenzie, but I can't see myself getting on NXT UK anytime soon. So now it's probably like Charlie Evans, Lizzie Evo, and literally just anyone. Like, I'll wrestle anyone, to be honest. I'd love a match with Cal because I think that'd just be really fun. Yeah, literally, I just want to wrestle. Man.
Just get me pen. Just get me pen. Could happen. I like the idea of that.
Yeah. Planting seeds.
Yeah, good seeds. Not just any seeds. They're good seeds.
Just a liberal sprinkling.
Absolutely. And I love a bit of that. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter if you really want to, _Lucia Lee. You can find me on Facebook as just Lucia Lee, and Patreon will be patreon.com/Lucia Lee.
Lucia Lee, fantastic.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
part of the Patreon and some of the social media posts that you've been doing lately, he's all sort of themed photo shoots as such. So Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, I think I've seen. And I'm sort of like, okay, so where's that inspiration from?
I'm a big Tarantino mark. Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, both volumes, are like my favourite films of all time. I love Uma Thurman, love Tarantino films. So I just thought, you know what, I might as well pay homage to Uma Thurman, do a cool photo shoot, and then I've got a t-shirt coming out in the style of like the Pulp Fiction poster,
okay,
which is going to be exciting. Yes, I wanted to get like a whole collection, put it together, get some 8x10s, get a t-shirt, and yeah, I just thought it would be a really cool theme because it's something I've never really seen before. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, the best themes are yourself as gimmicks that people recognise. So that's a good shirt. I'm sure it'll be all over social media when it's out. So make sure you check that out, the relevant ones. And is there anything else that you want to put over before we go?
I mean, there's a show in October for Championship Wrestling that I'd like to put over.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. When and where? When and where is that? Wait there. It's October 22nd at Allen's Sports Bar in Tipton, and we're going to be very proud to sponsor that show, right?
Yes. I don't know who to PayPal the money to now. It's really confusing. Lucy or you or me? I'm confused.
Who's booking this shit? I don't know.
Put yourself a coffee. Fine.
Yeah, I can't believe you're drinking a cup. What's in that cup?
It's definitely not a Heenan gimmick.
Is it vodka? It's vodka, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. Orange juice.
No, it's tea.
Tea, really?
I'm being called out for drinking tea.
I just think that's fantastic. Fair play to you on a Monday night, on a podcast night, drinking a tea.
Yeah, trying to keep it classy for once.
That does make a change for you. That is for sure.
Next week it's just a bottle of tequila, and you won't be able to understand me.
Dun 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 dun. I can't. He's just gonna get awkward and awkward.
I will Dan Housen the shit out of that.
And on that note, thank you very much for joining us, Lucia. This has been Talking Shop with all of the technical difficulties. Your internet connection is unstable. I have been Rob Campbell alongside.
I have been fucking hell talk.
And I've been Daniel Cornfield.
And I guess fucking hell, he used to review that, mate. She'd give you a 2 out of 10, I think.
Yeah.
And that's on a how's your tea? Yeah, nice. And I guess has been the awesome Lucia Lee. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.